Everybody knows things are bad. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore.
I've been lit for days. I wish my life was on a different page. I got peers and they got shit for brains. If you calm, you must have missed the rage. Me and the homies in our hundreds, but who's counting? We all ditched our rage. I got a biddy with a booty, don't stop. That shit clap like a crowd, that 187 to cop. I know a guy with an IQ that's peaking the top. He got a felony on his sheet, he pushing the mob. There's a house of cards being built around me and you. No sign of the doors or windows, but they'll sell you the view. Most of these homebodies pay the rent, but ain't got a clue. It's the same old kidnapping, just the ransom is new. The world we living in is really stranger than fiction. My fucking strength done gave me pills to kick my Twitter addiction. Some of you folks fragile, scared to make a decision. Congratulations, you're still missing your prison.
I don't want you to protest, I don't want you to riot, I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it, my life has
I'm
value.
in the danger zone. The feds listen when I'm on the phone. I ain't special, that's just how it's going. Yesterday I had to smoke a clone. Got high enough to tap my dome. Started slurring like I'm Post Malone. It ain't an office, it's a rush to the loot. Outside a voting center, sign said, who got the juice? If we're a being capable of such a noble pursuit, then why ask the tree to stop making poisonous fruit? No system ever wanted us to win from the start. Imagine choking on the paint but still respecting the art. That's why these kids are willing to walk into the dark. And besides, a little danger can be good for your heart. You can peek behind the curtain, but it's on with the show. They think to shut this shit down, you gotta prove what you know. The only thing worse than clickbait from Donnie and Joe is the thought of either one of them fucking me slow.
And when the 12th largest company in the world controls the most awesome goddamn propaganda force in the whole godless world, who knows what shit will be peddled for truth on this network? Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs.
Good afternoon. Not afternoon, sorry, evening, something like that. I'm telling you, that's kind of how I felt all day. In fact, you see old Rudy there, and that kind of sums it up. I mean, what? You know, for somebody that didn't have a dog in the fight, I sure in the hell had up the numbers all day, the election numbers all day. Man, I don't even know what to think. I don't even know where to begin to think, to be honest. I can't say that I'd really considered a Biden win in the scenarios. I mean, of course, but I never really sat down and thought, okay, now what would happen? I didn't entertain it that deep. And so I'm kind of dumbfounded now that we're sitting here. And it's not all done and over or anything like that, and I'm not getting at that or anything like that. You know, there's already been challenges made, and you know, I think there's valid concern, and hopefully it can be gotten to the bottom of, and we can get a little bit more accurate of account from those affected places. It's a shame that the will of the people can't simply be done, right? And what aggravates me, if it does turn out that there was fraud involved, I'm not saying there is, not saying there isn't, I don't know. I do know there's an awful lot of suspicious looking stuff. Man, I'll tell you what, this is a mess. This is a mess. But one thing also I was looking at as I was watching things unfold today was how the numbers were unfolding. Now, as it stands, we're waiting unless something has changed. Now, I had Politico up. Give me just a second. That's what I had up was Politico stuff. I just picked one. That's what I do. I pick one. You can get all hung up over all that stuff all you want. So here we go. Here's, the thing of it is sure, numbers may be a little different between this one or that one. But when it comes to this, at some point, people have to agree on what the numbers are, even if the numbers are wrong. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, having a sip of coffee here because I can. So, Nevada apparently still isn't all done here. 75% of expected vote in. Pardon me. Trump is only 0.6%. He's just over 0.5% behind in Nevada. Okay, so 75% of expected vote in. That is 6 electoral votes. Okay? Which is enough to give Biden the win. For him to secure the win. Right, dead on 270. How about that? Right, dead on 270. So, yikes. Not good. News coming in on my watch. Drone Volley released a video, the DJI Mini 2 unboxing and overview. And I was just joking about it, last week or so, about how there were some YouTube creators that were flying them around, doing videos and stuff like that for them. All the while there were other people trying to say that it was fake news, that there was no such thing as a DJI Mini 2. So anyway, that's neither here nor there, not important. So, yeah. Right smack on 270. Isn't it not just beautiful? Huh. I don't even know. I've literally been dumbfounded all day. I really have. I don't know where it goes from here. This is not a scenario that I have ever really put too much stock in, but I guess I should have. Because now people in this country are put in a kind of a bad position. If there was cheating that went on. Hopefully it gets found out if there was. I don't know. It looks like some suspicious stuff, man. It just looks suspicious to me. And there's a lot of game playing going on right? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? I think it's ridiculous that we can't just have a simple vote and the will of the people be heard. Why all this game? And I'm not talking about simple vote, just go by popular vote. No. No. No, I do think that there needs to be a change to the Electoral College, though. And I think that changes, and I don't know if that's what Nebraska did or not, because I noticed Nebraska is different from all the other states. Nebraska is separate, and it seems like they're separate independent electoral votes. I wish the whole country would go that way, because we hail from the land of the not-so-free, Illinois, and most of our state is red. Most of our state is red. And I think that they should, if a state has, say, in our case, Illinois, we've got 20 electoral votes. So if they would spread those 20 electoral votes out, I don't know why that did that. Trying to see if there was a change made to the map here. I'm not seeing any change. Anyway, crap. What was I thinking? Oh, if they did that, if they spread them out equally across the state, it would be a more representative reflection of how we feel as a citizenry, right? Again, if we get 20, spread it out across the state equally. Don't do it via population. That's not fair. That's not fair. Not absolutely at all fair to do that by population. Because then you give Chicago all the power. And guess what? The majority of Illinois is not Chicago. In fact, the majority of Illinois can't stand Chicago. But yet they hold all the power. You see that blue Illinois right there? That's because of Chicago, not because of anywhere else in Illinois. Chicago and the surrounding area around Chicago. And I think there's one little bitty haven kind of down near us that's usually a Democrat haven, but not where we're at. And when I say that little Democrat haven, I think it's like one county. It's not a large area. Most of Illinois is conservative. So I would like to see a change in that regard. But again, spread equally, not done per population count, Do it equally. Do it by land mass. That way you get a more representative of the areas, because that's what it's supposed to be, right? The areas, not the population centers. That doesn't make sense. It should be the area, the entire area of the state, not just the one city area. That makes no sense at all. But anyway, so if that is indeed what Nebraska did, man, that would be awesome to see the rest of the states do that, in my opinion. Because, damn it, I'm tired of being blue. Alright, sorry, had to do the coffee break thing. Yeah, and coffee, so, yeah. If that tells you anything in and of itself. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really think through this. I do, before we go much further, I do want to mention something else. I do want to bring up the COVID numbers. Definite spike going on. We're showing fatal cases at 1361. And if I look here, we're showing a spike starting up at I can't get it to hover right over it. Like 85,000 the last 24 hours for on this chart anyway. And you can see a definite spike here where we jumped back up over 1,000. And that would be yesterday. So this would be today's count. So looks like there'll be another day over 1,000. That's not good. And I have a feeling it's going to spike quick. And it's because it's flu season. This thing was nasty. This thing was ruthless at the end of flu season. I mean, it was absolutely ruthless. And that's what China saw, and that's what Iran saw, and that's what Italy saw. It just wiped them out because it was flu season. It was the end of flu season, but it was flu season. And being that it is a coronavirus, it thrived. And I think that's what it's going to do here now. And we're seeing it happen across the pond over in the UK and all that. It's already happening over there. Remember, we're like a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks behind them. So now that we're seeing them start to have a big issue with it, we can expect to start seeing the spikes here. And we're seeing it nationwide as well as we are seeing it here locally. Now, I haven't been paying much attention to the state as a whole, but I have been paying attention to us. And let's see, I think the day before, I think it was seven more in that 24-hour period. And then over this past 24-hour period, there's been 11 more. So in the past 48 hours, there's been 18 new confirmed cases right here in our little town. So it's a thing, and it's spreading quick. And it's because it's flu season. The temperatures are cooling off, and it's just a thing. So I just want to point that out, man. I believe I think it's imperative that people are armed with the truth. And the decisions that you make from there are your own. But damn it, you deserve the truth. So that you can make your own proper decisions. That's why I think it's so unfair about all this back and forth with political parties and all of that stuff. Is all of the game playing, the football, shifting and all of that. It's insane. Because we are not even being considered in any of that. Do you think we're being considered in any of that? If both sides are lying to us and misleading us, are we the ones that they're concerned with? Or are they just concerned with themselves? We really got to be honest with ourselves. Ain't nobody else going to do it for us. Ain't nobody else going to be honest for you. You got to be honest for yourself. Nothing saying that I'm here telling the truth. You got to be honest here for yourself. And when I say here, I mean on this planet. Ain't nobody else going to do it for you. It's, it's sad that we have to be in this position. And when I say this position, I mean all these positions that we're in as a society. So, but we're here, and I hope we can figure it out. I hope we can figure it out. If we do get hit super, super, super hard with COVID-19, I don't know. Biden does take the helm on January 21st. Or Kamala, whoever. I don't know. I don't know. Man, I don't think that if these extremist left get in the White House, I don't think there will be anything constitutional or anything else about the way they go about bringing upon their change. And that's concerning. You know, if if our system was used fairly for change, wouldn't be so bad. But unfortunately, it's been abused for a very, very long time, and they're just trying to abuse it more and more to the point to where it's abolished, and we're getting near that now. And I am afraid that that's what will be the straw that breaks the camel's back of the Constitution. My goodness. It's been a lot easier for me if Trump would have won, you know. That scenario had been thought through a million times, even though I couldn't tell you which way necessarily it would go, but I thought out, you know, A, B, C, D, E, you know what I mean? So many different ways I thought it out. I didn't really think too much about Biden being announced the winner. And I honestly can't tell you what conservatives' reaction is going to be. I don't know. I don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. I am literally just stumped. And I've been this way all day. Staring at my monitors at numbers with my mouth hanging open. Going, what is going on? So, I just, it's crazy. It's crazy. Again, the answer still for you is the same, correct? Get ready. The answer for you, no matter what, either way it goes, is still to get ready. Do it in simple ways. You know what? Here's something simple that I thought of the other day, right before Jen went grocery shopping. And just tell you how simple this is. And we didn't do it. We hadn't done it. I got to thinking, you know, I want some oatmeal. And, you know, because once in a while I just like to have a bowl of oatmeal. And so I got to thinking, I'm like, duh, why are you having, oatmeal's cheap. Why are you having her pick up one thing of oatmeal? So I had her pick up 3. And then I got to thinking, oatmeal. What about pancake mix? Had her pick up 3 boxes of pancake mix. You know, little things, and they don't cost that much. And do you know how far that would go if it was, you know, you just made breakfast with pancakes or oatmeal or whatever, and you had something else for your other meals? You get a little bit out of that. For us too. I mean, we're not like a family of 10 or nothing here, you know, but we would probably be able to get, we might be able to stretch that out if it was just for breakfast, maybe a month, I'm guessing. I would have to really sit there and figure it out. But I mean, just out of that little bit. So just taking those little bitty steps is extremely helpful. But I would highly encourage you to do whatever you can. Start getting some food, put it back, you know. And folks, it doesn't have to be the super, super duper expensive, you know, freeze-dried foods or anything like that. That stuff is nice, and if you've got the money to get some of that and put some of that back, that's fine. But you know what? Your dollar will go a hell of a lot further if you buy things like canned goods, like, beef ravioli or beefaronis or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Different soups and stuff, canned soups and stuff like that. And if something is going to happen, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty immediate here, and you're not going to have time for those items to go bad. So I would be safe to bet that if you went and picked yourself up, a couple or 3 cases of beefaronis and raviolis and whatever else you have a palate for, I highly recommend doing it. I really highly recommend doing it. While you're at it, okay, pick you up a bag of rice, right? I'm not talking about a 1 pound bag of rice. Pick you up a 20-pound bag of rice. And if you feel really excited, pick you up 2 20-pound bags of rice. They're not expensive. But here's the deal, right? That beefaroni, that macaroni, or beefaroni, that ravioli, stuff like that. You mix a bit of rice in with that, make it go a real long way, right? Because plain, just straight rice, not real great, right? But you can use it as a filler, and works wonderful. Calories are calories, right? So, try not to make it to where you're going to absolutely dread what it is that you're eating, but at the same time, use items like rice to be able to stretch it. These are the little things. I think it's important. If there's anybody that's listening that hasn't done any kind of prepping, these are good areas. Don't just run out and buy up all the toilet paper. Not the way to go. And, I'm hearing, I am getting reports of low toilet paper on the shelves at a couple of stores. Jen said it was kind of low when she went, and then somebody else said where they live, they got wiped out, like I guess the night before election or the day of election, something like that. Their toilet paper just got wiped out. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. Think, can't eat toilet paper. Make sure the food thing's taken care of. Make sure you try to have like non-perishable stuff that don't have to be refrigerated or frozen, for obvious reasons. Or maybe if you're new to this, maybe not so obvious reasons. If you're new to this and you're wondering why I'm saying that, well, things can go really, really, really upside down really quick. And, whether it be a localized event, regional, or whatever, we could experience grid down situations across, throughout, or whatever the nation, due to unrest or what have you. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I know there's a lot of crazy in the world right now. I know that tensions are at all-time highs. And that's not only between political parties and religious beliefs. And when I say that, some of those religious beliefs aren't religious beliefs, they're political ideologies. But nonetheless, I have to throw it there because that way you'll know what I mean. It's not real good times. So it doesn't hurt just to have a little stuff to be prepared. So we don't have tons. It's not like we've got tons. We don't have a ton of food. We really don't. We did pick up a couple of and I do want to tell you about it. Walmart has Augustin Farm buckets, and I've looked at these before, and I thought, and so Jen asked me about them the other day, and we had the opportunity to grab a couple, so I had her pick up a couple of them. They're $20 a piece, and I believe it says 55 servings or something on it, if I'm not mistaken. But don't go by that, folks. I'm telling you, and this is a reminder again for those that don't know, and if you're new to this, this is probably, when it comes to prepper food, this is the most important thing you're going to hear. When you buy freeze-dried foods, don't buy it by the serving. Don't pay attention to the servings. The only thing you want to pay attention to is the weight. Think about that. The only thing you want to pay attention to is the weight. Because different companies have different serving sizes. So avoid their games altogether and go by the weight. You're not going to lie about that. You know what I mean? Net weight's a net weight. So, go by the weight. But anyway, they're $20 little. It's supposed to be 48 hours for 4 people, I believe. I don't believe that stuff. I would say one of those buckets, a $20 bucket, would be good for Jen and I for 2 days. 2 people, 2 days. Half of what they claim. Okay? Because you have to be realistic with it. So, but $20, and it's not bad. It's got maple oatmeal in it. It's got macaroni and with cheese sauce in it. I think some potato cream soup kind of, I don't know, stuff in it. I can't remember what the other thing was. It don't sound too bad though. For $20. And again, I wouldn't focus on going that direction with foods, especially if you're new to this, or if you just need to put a little more back. I wouldn't necessarily focus on freeze-dried stuff. I would look more towards like your canned goods and boxed stuff, like your pancake mixes and your oatmeals and your usual stuff, your rice, your beans, the usual suspects. I don't like where this is heading, and I'm not necessarily pointing out one in particular thing. All of it. The election jazz, the COVID stuff, international relations. I really do not like where this is headed. The economy, that's been shot long ago. We're just kind of more or less waiting for them to let us know. And I think that's going to happen, not only shortly, but I think that's going to happen along with a series of events. And it could be literally right around the corner. This election turmoil could cause it. Something involving the election turmoil could cause it. If our nation is in a power struggle with who's in charge, what's to say another nation may not see that as an opportunity to strike us at a time of weakness, because that's a time of weakness. What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen if another country attacked us? You would have 2 presidents, I think, that would be at odds with each other on how to deal with it. Okay? Weirdly enough, I know I can't say oddly because I already said that, but It's like a rule, right? So that wouldn't work. Man, I'm telling you, this is a weird situation. This is a weird situation. I don't like it. I don't like where this is headed. I didn't care for where it was headed if Trump would have been announced the winner. Like I said, I really didn't even think much about Biden would have been announced the winner. But I can tell you that I like it much less. Much, much less. You know? I mean, don't get me wrong. If you held a gun to my head and literally said, okay, who do you like better, Trump or Biden? I'm going to tell you Trump. You know? I don't know, man. We need to get a bunch of, like, earth moving equipment and build a bunch of big hills so we can all run to them. That'll work, right? Sheesh. I literally don't know what to think on any of this. I don't. I am going to go ahead and kind of go over the headlines, and we run into something to speak about a little bit, I will. I don't really know what else to add when it comes to the election stuff. You know, there is no more to add when it comes to the COVID stuff. If you feel you need to protect yourself, then please do protect yourself. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But make sure you protect yourself with the proper equipment. Don't, if you need to protect yourself, don't throw on a cloth mask and think you're good. Nothing less than an N95. You gotta use science behind this. But a lot of it's kind of a wait and see thing. And I hate those. Alright, let me grab some headlines here. Oh, man. Alright, so going to be starting with stuff that I put out earlier this morning, which obviously is actually going to be stuff that happened overnight. Now, what you will not see in here is the play-by-play of the election stuff. You're not going to see that in the headlines that I put out because I felt like it was pointless to do it. Everybody and their brother already knew. So I wasn't going to clutter up my feed with every little step, you know what I mean? Every little announcement. I wasn't going to do it. But anyway, Facebook flags Joe Biden's "We're Gonna Win This" post and reminds that votes have not been counted yet. That reminds me about something. Yeah. So, Flash001 USA put out a video, and I told you guys about it. He put out a video the other day about him being censored, his email being censored. And I shared that video on Facebook. If you look at my Facebook, it says that content is not available. That the person or blah, blah, blah that I shared that with, blah, blah, blah. Right? It's still there on Flash's YouTube. I check. I look. It's there. So Facebook censored a YouTube video about Yahoo email censorship. So there's that. Let's see. Frankly, we did win this election. Donald Trump claims victory, plans to go to the Supreme Court. And that was kind of an important milestone, so that is why I put that out. It's not that I didn't put out anything involving the election or erection, whichever way you want to look at it. I just put out, like, key things. Bayer takes more than $10 billion write-down over Monsanto's Roundup weed killer. China's service sector growth shows strong recovery in consumer demand. As global anti-vax movements gain ground, growing number of Russians worry about taking any form of coronavirus vaccine. As protests continue in Belarus, embattled President Lukashenko fails to grasp seriousness of situation, says Moscow expert. The Eurozone economy on track for double-dip recession. I think the global, economy is going to be seeing, I don't know what term you want to put on it. It's probably going to be worse than a recession, though. I don't know how many dips there's going to be. I know there'll be at least one big one. Let's see. 4 Trump supporters stabbed after election night fight near White House, says D.C. police. Apparently, they identified themselves as Proud Boys. So I don't know any details of that. Other than it was supposedly non-life threatening, but I have no idea anything about the incident itself. So, but that is the only thing I've heard so far. Now, it's not to say that nothing else has gone on, but that is the only thing that I have heard of so far. Charlie Hebdo publishes provocative cover of beheaded can dancers in response to recent terror attacks in France. Ukraine's health chief warns country's medical infrastructure is close to disaster as COVID-19 lockdown threshold approaches. Turkey fines social media companies $1.18 million for failing to comply with new content removal law. These filthy teachers will pay. French police arrest man suspected of threatening school staff while on morning walks. France bans Turkish right-wing Grey Wolves group for inciting discrimination and hatred. Slovak intelligence warned Austria about the Vienna gunman trying to buy ammunition, says an Interior Minister Nehammer. Now here's the thing, and we've seen this a lot here in the U.S., to where the ball has been dropped not once but multiple times. So this guy was released early from jail because of some de-radicalization program that he fooled. Okay? Are you getting this? And then Slovak intelligence, even though this guy fooled this program, Slovak intelligence warned them about the guy. It's odd because once in a while here in the United States, it'll be in the headlines where the FBI catches some guy that had a plot to do this or that. But they never can seem to stop the actual things that happen and that they're warned about prior to. I find that amazing. Dozens arrested in Moscow at annual far-right Russian March rally, formerly co-organized by opposition figure Alexei Navalny. Trump campaigned to immediately request recount in Wisconsin, citing reports of irregularities, says a statement. A serious situation. NHS England moves to highest alert level to stop COVID-19 cases spiraling out of control in second wave. So again, like I told you, over there, it's really starting to ramp up and hit, and I would expect you're going to see it here too. It's not fake. It's a thing. It's not that it's not going to kill us all. That's not the issue. But it's going to screw a lot of stuff up. You know? The supply lines got massively interrupted the last time, did they not? Well, I'm telling you, this wave's going to make that last one look like nothing. That last one was a cakewalk because it was the end of flu season. Boom, we were right into summer. The thing died off. And even though, there was illness that still continued on, it did not have the communicability as what it does during flu season. So here we are. Trump campaign suing to stop Michigan and Pennsylvania vote count while Biden predicts big win in key Rust Belt states. Putin weighs in on those who offend the feelings of believers after spate of religion-related terror attacks in European cities. Let's see. Get this, and this was in the first half hour of the store opening. 80,000 rounds of ammo fly off NWI shelves in Valpo and Griffith's store, says reports. This was it Indy? I can't remember where. Give me a second here. I believe it's Indiana, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, 80,000 rounds of 9mm ammo in 30 minutes. That is a bit nuts. So, yeah, there's that. Ballots could be from Mars as far as we're concerned. Giuliani alleges mail-in voter fraud in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Trump sues to stop vote in Georgia with 200,000 votes from left-leaning counties outstanding. And I don't know what to think about that. If those votes came in on time, then shouldn't they be counted? As long as they came in on at the allotted time, why should they not be counted? Nah. That sounds to me, nah. I ain't dumb. I know that more Democrats mailed their votes in than conservatives. I'm not dumb. So I'm one of those that, as long as it's fair, I'm good. But the moment that it becomes unfair, that one person's better than the other, no. And that's true not just people, but whatever. Companies, governments, whatever. It's just, it's insane. It's insane. I don't know what to think. I know I had it up, or I thought I had it up a little bit ago. A political thing. I just, I wonder how to get to where I was. Might be it here. Yeah, it is. Okay, so Senate's at 48 and 48 currently. Biden, Trump still the same. And the House is the same from the last time I looked. So I am telling you. Look over here, 75% in. Absolutely insane. 98% in Georgia. And they are like neck and neck. Dude. 98% in Georgia. And Trump has a 0.8% lead. Now, if you were good at math and really gave a damn enough, you could figure out whether or not he could pull that off. Yeah. If that flips, if Georgia flips, man. And this is going to be nothing but a fight, you know? Because if that happens, if it flips at the last minute, you know, that's going to be another, talk about battleground state, that's going to be another one that's going to be heavily, heavily contested, you know. Michigan, with 99% in, has started to pull away a little bit. Not quite near as close as it was in Michigan. So, again, I'm not saying that there's not games being played. I'm not even talking about that stuff. I'm talking about the numbers that are setting in front of us, not how we came about those numbers. Nonetheless, they are showing, they're pulling away a little bit. Wisconsin, with 99% in, is still very close, within 0.3. So, that is going to be a hotly contested state, and rightfully so. It should be, as well as Nevada will likely be hotly contested. Right now, Trump is 0.4 behind, 0.4% behind Biden, with 75% of the expected vote in. So, we'll see what happens. But I had not really sat there and thought about a Biden win. I really didn't. I didn't. Because you know what? I thought that Trump would have been able to still pull off a victory, even with a bunch of cheating going on. Because that's what happened in 2016. I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. Trump had more supporters than Hillary had ability to cheat. I think in reality, Trump won by a landslide in 2016. I believe he mopped the floors with Hillary. This time, I don't know. This is almost ridiculous. Because you know what? I do kind of live under a rock. But those that I associate with are from a wide, diverse group. They're from different areas of life and different areas of the world even, and in some cases. But the ones here in the U.S., you know, they're not all conservative. They're not all liberal. They're all over the spectrum. And I just don't see the Biden support. I don't. In fact, I saw a lot of liberals that were not in support of Biden. You know? And I saw a handful that was. So, but Trump, on the other hand, I mean, I know y'all are loud, but geez, I guarantee you there's a lot more Trump supporters than Biden could ever dream of having. And that's what I see with my own eyes. You know, and it brings me to the cities and the psychology there, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. The idea that just because somebody lives in a city means that they would automatically inherently be okay with giving up very important things is stupid to me. I do not believe that people in these high population areas. I call them concrete jungles. I do not believe that the majority of them subscribe to the nonsense of not being able to defend themselves. I don't believe that. I think there's a lot that we need to kind of step back and take a second look at in our nation as a whole. And I think that if we want to continue on, I think we need to insist on some changes, like term limits for Congress. You know? But before we can do anything, we got to start seeking solutions, not differences. We got to want to try to solve it. People are arguing to argue in a lot of cases, and that ain't not good. It's definitely not productive. And I'm telling you right now, if this continues, if what we're seeing continues, and Biden is the one that's announced as the winner, I really, things could get real ugly. I don't know. Hell, I don't know. Maybe he'll buy us all a pony and we'll live happily ever after. I don't know. I am that dumbfounded. I know I don't like it. I know it horrifies me. Because, dude, the powers that be already have a stranglehold on this nation. Don't think that Trump put a stop to that. Sorry, he didn't. And I don't know. Do not know. Oh, are you just not saying something? Anyway, let's see. Trying to get my stupid mouse to show up. Making sure I'm not missing anything here. I don't even know what to think on this ammunition thing. I haven't seen any other reports other than that one report. I saw that, and that was an eye-opener to me. I don't know. I don't really know what more to add on the election stuff. It's just a bunch of wait and see. I would say that we aren't going to have a clear answer for a little while. And I would also say that when they do announce, I don't think we'll ever have a clear winner. Let me change that. Well, when they do announce who it is they selected, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we know if Trump wins, we already had that figured out, right? We knew there was going to be riots. Why? Because there already was riots. So it's another day, right? Another day. Except it was probably going to get a whole hell of a lot worse. And we knew that. There were people boarding up their buildings. Okay? I mean, and this was widespread across the nation. There were people boarding up buildings and stuff. because of the massive unrest that they expected from a Trump win. And I guess I'm sitting here feeling kind of like an Antifa person on the streets of Washington, D.C. or something. What am I supposed to do now? Oh, man. Now, I'm just saying, right? All the protesters, the rioters, I mean, I wonder if they're all standing around going, what are we supposed to do? Well, that's kind of how I feel, but not from their perspective, but from a news perspective and from a prepping perspective. And Bear talks a lot about doing area studies and all that. Well, I always do that. I mean, that's like a constant thing for me. And when I say the word area study, I'm including everything, not just area as in a location and what's going on, I'm constantly reassessing everything. And man, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And the reason I don't is because I don't know what to expect. I do not know what to expect. I don't know what to say either. Because this, if there has indeed been cheating, if there has indeed been cheating, and an election was stolen, that's serious. That's very serious. And just even if everything was dealt within the legal channels, can you imagine? Okay, so let's say, I don't know if this could happen or not. Let me just throw a stupid scenario out there that I'm not even sure if it could be a scenario, but to get you to understand my line of thought here. So let's just say that Biden has announced the winner. And then all of a sudden, Trump demands or whatever that Biden be arrested or whatever. And I don't know how all this works or could work or whatever. But what happens then? See, this could shift so many ways so fast. It's unbelievable. And I'm not a real big fan of all the options that are on the table. I don't like any of the options, really. I wasn't quite so concerned with the Trump victory, though. I can tell you that. I mean, I'm not saying that I thought all would be well. Absolutely not. But I wasn't as concerned when I was in the mindset that he was going to win as what I am sitting here right now. I can tell you that. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And not just, when I say that, I'm not saying it just because Biden would be president. I'm not saying that. It's not just that. It's a myriad of other things, that are a result of him being the one, right? Because we know, right, that when it and I thought it was coming either way, lockdowns and mandatory masks and stuff. Now, let me tell you what, I believe that was coming anyway. And by the way, here's a thought for you, because I did think this scenario through earlier. Let me throw it at you. So I think it's pretty much a given that Biden's going to win a lockdown and all of that. you know, that is one way that I see the right stands out, because the right were starting to stand up before with the lockdown stuff. And I mean, I'm talking protests and stuff like that. And yeah, I think if Biden would take over and try to lock down the nation, mandatory masks, yeah, maybe that would get the left to react. But just a Biden, as far as Biden just winning, I don't know if the right is going to react to that, or if they're just going to let it all. I don't know. It was so much easier to figure out with the prospect of Trump winning, because they were already rioting. Ugh. Damn it! Elections making this job hard. Man, yeah. I really don't have anything more to add to this, and I don't have anything more as far as COVID stuff. I don't know really anything more to add. That's pretty much it. Can't think of anything else, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out of here. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep these between hour and a half, so a lot of them might be a little towards an hour. I don't know, I can sit here and pick my nose and sound stupid for 15, 20, 30 minutes, another 3 days, but ain't going to do any of us good. So I can turn off my stammering, and you guys can go watch something a little bit more quality. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys coming. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do necessarily on Fridays because of the Shabbat thing. But I'm working on figuring something out. I haven't quite yet. So, I don't know. I'll try to have something figured out. Had a couple ideas, but I'm not real sure. Yeah, I could just go on earlier and yada yada. I don't know. Okay, I am out of here. Hope everybody has a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. As always, God bless you. We love you, and be one with your spirit.